February 10, 2006, a small town in Kerala, India. A grandmother returns home from the local panchayat office. She carries grapes and eggs for her daughter. She opens the door, and her world ends. Her daughter, 23-year-old Ranjini, lies in a pool of blood. Her 17-day-old twin daughters are on the bed. Their throats have been slit. All three are dead. The killers vanish. No trace, no clues. For 19 years, this case sits in a dusty file. Everyone assumes the murderers are gone forever. Then, in 2025, police try something no one had thought of before. They use artificial intelligence to age old photographs, and they find the killers on Facebook. This is the true story of the Anchal triple murders and how AI brought justice after nearly 2 decades. To understand this case, we need to go back to 2005. Ranjini, a young woman from a Liaman village in Kollam, Kerala, lived with her mother, Santhama. Ranjini was hardworking. She worked as a tailor, a clerk at a lawyer's office, and was active in a local women's empowerment group. Her neighbor was a young man named Divil Kumar. He was an army personnel stationed in Pathankot, Punjab. According to Santhama, Divil had been stalking Ranjini. One day, when Ranjini was alone, Divil allegedly forced himself into the house and assaulted her. She lost consciousness. When she woke up, she was bleeding. That single act led to a pregnancy. Ranjini gave birth to twin daughters in January 2006. But Divil refused to accept responsibility. He distanced himself and stayed in Pathankot. Ranjini was determined. She did not want her daughters to grow up with the label fatherless. She filed a complaint with the Kerala State Women's Commission, demanding that Divil undergo a DNA test to prove paternity. The commission agreed. An order was issued. That order would cost Ranjini her life. While Ranjini was in the hospital recovering from her C-section, a stranger appeared. He introduced himself as Anil Kumar. He offered to help. He said his relative was also in the hospital. Santhama, Ranjini's mother, was wary, but the man was persistent. After Ranjini was discharged, Anil insisted on driving them home. He helped them find a rented house in Anchal, away from judgmental neighbors and relatives. He visited often. He offered advice. He gained their trust. But Anil was not who he claimed to be. His real name was Rajesh, and he was Divil Kumar's colleague from the army. Together, Divil and Rajesh had planned everything. Rajesh's job was to get close to the family, to learn their routines, to find the perfect moment to strike. That moment came on February 10, 2006. On that morning, Rajesh visited the rented house. He convinced Santhama to go to the local panchayat office to submit some paperwork related to the baby's birth certificates. As soon as Santhama left, Rajesh let Divil into the house. What happened next is almost too horrific to describe. Ranjini was attacked first. Her throat was slit. Then the two 17-day-old twin daughters. Their throats were also slit. When Santhama returned, she found the door locked from inside. She called out. No answer. A neighbor broke the door open. Santhama later recalled, "I saw my daughter lying in a pool of blood. The babies were on the bed. Ants were running over their faces. I could never get over that sight." The two men fled. They left behind one crucial piece of evidence, the registration certificate of a motorcycle. That certificate led police to a used motorcycle shop in Tiruvananthapuram. The shop employees identified Divil Kumar, and bank records revealed the second man, Rajesh. But by the time police reached the army base in Pathankot, both men were gone. They had deserted the army and vanished into thin air. For years, the case went nowhere. In 2010, Santhama approached the Kerala High Court. The case was transferred to the CBI. In 2013, the CBI filed a charge sheet, but the accused were nowhere to be found. The court declared them proclaimed defenders. Still, no arrests. The trail was cold. Investigators assumed the men had fled the country. Some thought they were dead. But Santhama never gave up. She moved to Kollam and earned a living by reciting scriptures at temples. She said, "I lived all these years because of the strength given by an unknown force." Then, in late 2024, a conversation changed everything. SP Shanavas A., who had originally investigated the case as a young circle inspector in 2006, mentioned the case to colleagues at the Kerala Police's Technical Intelligence Wing. One officer got curious. The Technical Intelligence Wing had recently begun using artificial intelligence to re-examine cold cases. Their method was simple but powerful. Take old photographs of suspects and use AI to age them by 19 years. The officer told a reporter, "I got curious and thought of giving it a try. If they were alive, they would have left a digital track somewhere." The team had one old photograph of Divil Kumar taken at a wedding. They fed it into AI systems, trying different combinations of hairstyles, facial features, and aging patterns. The AI generated multiple versions of how Divil might look after nearly 2 decades. Then came the breakthrough. The team matched one AI-generated image to a wedding photograph on Facebook. The similarity was 90%. The man in the Facebook photo was living in Puducherry under a new name, Vishnu. He ran an interior design business. He was married to a teacher. He had built an entirely new life. The team traced him, and with his arrest, they found the second man, Rajesh, now calling himself Praveen Kumar, also living in Puducherry as an interior designer. In January 4th, 2025, the CBI arrested both men, 19 years after the murders, 19 years of hiding in plain sight. When SP Shanavas called Santhama with the news, she broke down. After nearly 2 decades, justice had finally arrived. The two accused had completely reinvented themselves. They had obtained Aadhaar cards under fake names. They had married local women. They had children of their own. All while Ranjini and her twin daughters lay in their graves. The case is now in court, but for Santhama, the hardest part is over. She no longer has to wonder where the killers are, no longer has to fight alone. She recalled the last meal she fed her daughter, cooked green gram and a glass of milk. Ranjini wanted to eat tapioca with fish curry, and I had cooked it for her, but I couldn't give that to my daughter, she said, her voice breaking. This case raises an important question. Should police use AI to track down criminals? The officer who worked on the case acknowledged the risks. AI can make mistakes. We don't blindly rely on it. We have techniques to negate errors. He emphasized that AI alone is never enough. The team verified multiple factors before making any arrest. They left no room for error. But the success in Kerala is not an isolated incident. Delhi police has also begun using AI-powered facial recognition technology that can scan 1 million criminal records in just 200 milliseconds. From October 2025, Delhi will activate 3,500 AI-enabled cameras for surveillance. The technology is expanding rapidly, and with it, cold cases that have haunted families for decades are finally being solved. The Anchal triple murder case is a story of tragedy, patience, and modern technology. A grandmother waited 19 years for justice, and it came not from a detective with a magnifying glass, but from an algorithm that aged a photograph. What do you think? Should police use AI to track down criminals, even if it means scanning social media photos without consent? Or is the price of privacy worth catching killers who have evaded justice for decades? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more stories about crime, justice, and the unexpected ways technology is changing both, hit that subscribe button, because sometimes the past doesn't stay buried forever.